Hey everybody, this is Grace, and pardon the way it's going to look because of the sun. It's not showing it yet, but anyway, what a way to start off a video. In this video, I want to talk about I feel like I haven't caught up with some of the topics I've been wanting to talk about because I've been focusing on this job, and I actually did take about 6 days off of doing anything, videos, trying to catch up. Had to put them on different channels, the ones I used to use for other things. But anyway, one of them is this about when people, when people, they just can't think of themselves as doing anything wrong. They cannot admit to it. They can't even, seriously, how do I put it other than they can't think that they even, with proof right in their faces, they find that it's somebody else's fault. Or they just don't even bother thinking about it. Like I'm saying, think of all the ways you can think about or not think about. So, yeah. Oh my. And this can be even like, it can, I can talk about it in the sense of your family or your in-laws, and you have actually witnessed them throughout years doing something, throughout years now of their behavior. Well, you too close. A lot of big trucks, would they get those extended or just big trucks? Yeah, they go down this road quite often, and it's very narrow. Anyway, I don't think that they think about how big their side view mirrors are extending. Two roads I've seen them on, and both of them are roads like this. See? Both of them. No, actually three. Good, a lot of driving. Right in the middle of the video. Anyway, I can't talk about that as in sense of family and or, in-laws. And there's really not anything you can do about it, because if they can't even imagine that they were somehow wrong and at fault somehow, some way, that'd be both. No, they cannot. They cannot. It had to be somehow, some way, your problem, or you did it. Well, that's a projection stuff, or just total denial. It's just amazes me, really. Okay, now that's one thing, just something like, I have mentioned this before, about the people who come into your home and start moving stuff around. Yeah, I'm not talking furniture, but although that has happened, okay, yes, that has happened, because they found some reason they didn't like it where it was. I had actually had one move a clock, seriously, to put it under the sink, because her excuse was that it ticked too loud for her. You can tell these people in so many different ways until you're blue in the face, like they used to say, and they don't hear it. They hear it somehow. They either just don't hear it, just won't speak on it, won't acknowledge that you said anything, nothing, or they say it's ticks too loud, or some dumb excuse like this that they therefore should move it without even asking you, as if it's their own. Wow. But they want to acknowledge that they did anything wrong, that's inappropriate behavior. You don't move stuff around in a person's home. You don't do, and this did not happen to me, but it happened to somebody else within the fold. You don't go in their house, and if you're going to go and be on vacation for say a week or so, you don't go in their house, and the room that they is the guest room, you change things around. You take pictures off the wall because you don't want to see them. You don't do that. That person got told off big time and made a big enemy. And it's not me. It does not involve me at all. But I hear stories, you know, as people say, I just can't believe. Now, there are people with, you know, various types of disorders that might do something like that, especially if somebody's a bit, we say OCD. You know, many of us say that. They're just OCD and obsessive compulsive disorder, but we don't know that they have the disorder. But some people say it. I would just say it like a little OCD maybe. Actually, I wouldn't say that to a person. Yeah, I don't diagnose. But anyway, but someone like that, you know, and you do have to sometimes wonder, do they have something like that? That things have to be in a certain order, certain place, you know, on a shelf. And if it's not, or if it has any speck of dust, how about the one, I think I've mentioned in the past, the one of, there was one dead gnat, and that meant that a whole can of Raid must be involved. Like less than 5 minutes after I said I have chemical allergies. Don't spray that, Lysol, anything like that. Both were used, Raid and Lysol. 5 minutes after. I had to leave for like 4 hours. That's when I first noticed that sitting down for 4 straight hours in my SUV, it was like 2 years ago. Yeah, it's not a good idea. 4 straight hours, nope, not a good idea for me. That's when I think I really realized I had this edema. I hope I'm saying it right. Really, still to this day. But I don't know. I didn't actually develop it as a long-term thing until the next year, by the way. I was somewhere yesterday and I saw this woman. She had it really bad. And then later on in the day, I mean, like not later on in the day, but really like about an hour later, I noticed I was at a Big Lots store and they had a mirror, some mirrors laying, you know, on the bottom shelf or something. And I could see my legs. I'm like, my legs just look skinny. That's it. The bottom part of my legs and my foot, my ankle, all that, you know, that both of them, and I could see them. They just look skinny, but to me, I know they're swollen. Okay, because I can feel it and I can push. You know how they push it. I didn't know that they did that, but they push it and see how long it takes for the skin to bounce back. I just did that myself. It doesn't bounce back too fast, but it did like that. Like I talking right now, and it's bounced back. But anyway, but I saw this woman yesterday, and I really felt sorry for her. She was a big woman, and I don't judge people on their size. I really do think that, I mean, I'm not a person who's in healthcare, so don't take it. And this is just an opinion on a different way, but I know that, well, maybe I shouldn't say anything, but anyway, she was a big woman and a big all-around woman. Some weren't. Like I got long, skinny legs. And her legs, she must have it. I don't know. I can't diagnose. I'm definitely not a voice of authority on physical health. And her legs were so big, so swollen. Her ankles, her feet, ankles, the bottom part of her legs, lower legs. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling at this point. Okay, I stopped for a little bit to try to see if I could get any offers. You know, I do this. How many times am I going to say this? I do these food deliveries so I can get affordable health care. You got to, not for the money, but to prove to the government I can make a certain amount of money. I live in Texas. That's the short version. Anyway, thought I'd, try to see anything, and I looked at the one that says how busy, that really gives a good idea of how busy. I don't usually name the names of them. These apps, food delivery apps, food, groceries, I mean like restaurant food, groceries, whatever you go to. But anyway, I looked at it. It's nothing. It's in any of this DFW. I mean, it's like barely. But all of them are I know if you know, you know, kind of thing. But it's just like barely any offers going in anywhere in DFW, the whole of Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Okay. Wow, I'm just north of Dallas, a suburb. It's a city all to itself. Most of them are out here except maybe 2 or 3. I think 3. All in all, I think I do mainly, and that's mainly, in 10 suburbs of Dallas. But one of them I tried to avoid at all costs. It's just a really busy road. Just a road. It's actually a highway. And just has one lane on each side and a line down the middle. Really. It's about how it looks. And the speed limit is 50 or 55. Yeah, imagine that lane, that when I showed the beginning of this, which is 30 miles per hour. Okay, where was I? That one is the road over there that I showed that I was driving down, where they had those big Bubba trucks, 2 big Bubba trucks with their, too wide. It was 30. Imagine going on one that's 50 or 55. And that's not the only place. The other place I avoid is, now that I remember, is to the, right where I am right now is to the, well, it's around here. Yeah, at a certain point it turns into Scaryville. I don't know what I'm going to call that area. And actually it's 3 of them, but, well, I'm going to say several of them. I just don't go out there. But every blue moon, anyway, I don't even know what I was talking about right now. I'm a little bit distracted. I'm always distracted because I'm paying attention to what's going on around me. But I was talking about, there's just nothing going on here in DFW. And I really don't know how I'm going to, it's nothing about being able to afford the insurance, but how am I going to prove to the government I'm making a certain amount of money, when I can't do any job? I can't go, I'm doing this because I can't. Who's going to hire someone that will just have to leave at any moment? Like if my legs swell up really bad or my health is really bad, I'm just going to have to leave. And don't even suggest that one. I tried. I didn't like being told that people my age don't know anything about computers. Yeah, and stuff like that. Did not appreciate any of it. And I'm not saying what, but don't even suggest it. I've done my, why do people always say due diligence? But I've done it all to try to find some way. But there is one I think I'm going to do. It's just changed so much. I don't know if that I can. But see, it would involve, the thing is, I can't work more than probably in a day. I tried one time 7, it was broken up, 7 hours in one day. Around, I didn't write it down, don't have anything to clock in, anything like that. But I guesstimated that it was probably around 7 hours that day, and broken up 3 times: breakfast, lunch, dinner. And my feet, my ankles were so swollen, and it continued for like a couple of days or something. And a lot of it's supposed to be about what I eat. I don't get enough. I don't get good enough health care. I'm about to fire this new one. She's not a doctor. I'm about to fire her because, I'm tired of being interrupted. I'm tired of, being asked a question, and before I finish the first sentence, I'm interrupted. And no. That's just plain and simple no. It's not me. I'm tired of that thought. I've been to this one ER and 3 people come in. It's usually 3 people. Don't know what their titles are. They don't take that much time to say. But they come in, and they all 3 start talking at the same time to me, asking me questions. And I can't finish answering any of them. This has happened 3 times. 3 different, only one of them, well, 2 of them I had seen twice. One was a doctor, saw that doctor twice. And the other one was the nurse practitioner, saw her twice. She's my age. And she's very friendly. But they all speak at once. And the first time I said, y'all stop. Seriously. It was unbelievable. I said, and I even put my hands over my face, kind of dramatically, because it was like intense. I said, I can't answer all of you. It was unbelievable. Seriously, unbelievable to me. I mean, my goodness, I've been in classrooms that people get really excited about the topic and everybody's talking. This was not anything, this was worse. Okay. It's also, you see on TV sometimes these news channels and everybody starts talking, all at once. But they're not asking anybody a question and expecting an answer and get ticked off because you don't answer them, but they interrupt you, that same person, before you finish your sentence. Well, I worry about this world. I do. I mean, I'm not going to be around for all that long. I worry about people in the next generations. This is what you're going to have. It's people who don't understand, wait in line, and wow, now I'm not even going to be able to say it. Stand in line and wait your turn. It was so overwhelming. The next time wasn't as bad. Maybe I got used to it. The third time was even better. Not really, because the woman that was my age, she kind of, one point she said, just hold the thought and I'll get back to you later. Because the other 2 were talking to me, Oh, man, this video is another one that's going to turn vlog because I'm all over the place. But this is good for me. It's really funny. My blood pressure this morning was so high. Unbelievably high. And mine, the systolic, the top number, is usually high, and that needs to be addressed. I do see the doctor soon. Not doctor, but the whatever the person is. And very soon. Could be today even. But, or not. Yeah. Anyway, I'm thinking I'm gonna fire. Seriously, like I was saying. But this morning, I never knew how to pronounce that, and yeah, getting, even asking that, how do you pronounce it? They're gonna cut me off. I'm not saying all of them. I'm not saying 100%. I'm not saying one size fits all. I'm not saying it would be the same for you. This is mine. This is what's happened in my world here. For me, just to me, not to anybody else. But that of just cutting off, you're not allowed to speak. That's their appointment, that's their money, that's all that it is, to get that money from your insurance card, or you, before when I didn't have insurance, and that's all. And you are just you're just the object holding the insurance card. That's it. That's how they really make me feel. And then they only have 2 minutes because they have other patients. Now, I used to do, when I was a career student, I would work for doctors, surgeons. Usually I did some stuff like surgery scheduling or office management, fill in, interim office manager, stuff like that. But doing it, I sometimes had to schedule appointments, not for, I had scheduled appointments for surgery, but also for just office appointments and office visits. And they were always done in the 15, like 2:15 or 2:30 or whatever like that. 15 minutes. But this one, they're at the 10s and the 20s. Do they really schedule their appointments 10 minutes apart? Now, there are some things that the doctors would schedule 15 minutes. And one of the doctors, he was a surgeon, he come up to me, he says, I can't do this at this speed, which is, you know, what they wanted me to do. And he said, because I don't even remember the patient's names anymore, who they are sitting on the table, laying on the table that I'm doing surgery on. I said, yeah, so I changed that for it. But some of them, they just get, you know, too many appointments. So this one is like 10 and 20 minutes. I mean, not at 20 minutes, at say 9, 10, and 9:20. You see what I'm saying? In 10 minutes increments. No, not increments. Oh my goodness, my mouth is very dry right now. Okay, but back about, goodness, oh my goodness. About leaving the house this morning, my blood pressure kept staying high. And I write down when I take any medicine, but I also have them in those little pill things, you know, plastic pill thing. And for how, you know, what, it says dates, but mine is, I put them as, this time I have to take this one because I've cut it down to, I think, 5 times a day. It was, or maybe 6, but it's difficult because I take some 4 times a day. So, some 3 times, some 2 times, and some 1 time. And there's also all these supplements and vitamins. That's all included. And then there's 3 times a day insulin. Yeah, it's quite a bit. And anyway, I had it all done, and I said, well, maybe I didn't take that one. But I missed my insulin shot last night. And anyway, so I was thinking, maybe I missed that pill too. There's one that's supposed to be PRN, but I can take it up to 3 times a day, which I'm having to because my blood pressure is high and nobody's taking care of it. Serious. No, serious. That's why I'm going to change. This is ridiculous. They only have 2 minutes, and this has been going on with various ones over how many years now? Probably 20 years or so. They're just too busy. They have too many. They have to, you know, they're parts of associations or, you know, something like that, and they just don't have time. You know? They have too many other patients like that one. He's not associated with anybody. Yeah, they just have too many. It's like, dude, you only speak to me like a minute or 2. You know, I do videos. I know how much you can pack in a minute or 2, but this is him talking and not listening. You know, but I'm determined. I'm going to go through each and every one of them until I find one that has more than 2 minutes. To, you know, well, I hope I can find one that actually listens. How is a doctor, any healthcare provider, going to know what is the problem unless they shut their mouths and listen? Seriously, I can go in and have a purpose, but they'll ask me, well, why are you here today? You know, hello, how are you? Why are you? What can I do for you for? Or something. Do you for? Oh, and as I'm answering before I finish the sentence, even to say the word, they're going to cut me off and start talking. Oh, I see here in your chart. And how are you doing on this? 2 minutes gone. And I start to speak, and they look at their watch. Like this one. She looks at her watch after she's come in, sat there, said all this, blabbed all this stuff, maybe a minute. Then looks at her watch. That's very, very. Whew. But anyway, to get back to the blood pressure, high at home, and as I know, I leave from home and I go and I this time I actually checked it in my SUV from right in front of the door of the house, and it had already gone down. Now, I don't know if it was just the monitor, but the top, you know, the systolic, the top one, went down 20 points. It wasn't the same monitor, but 20 points. The rest were about the same, a little bit lower, but the diastolic was high today, which is never, it's usually low. And the pulse was actually lower, and it's usually high. Okay, but I have six wrist monitors, 2 of the ones above the elbow, and probably other ones somewhere else in the house, who knows. But I have two with me right now. One that stays in the SUV and one that stays in my purse. But anyway, I've tested, used them, and my blood pressure is lower just leaving the house. Believe me, I can look at that as in another way. You know, my degrees are in psychology and sociology, and that's why I left this morning. I really didn't think I was going to get any offers at all. Oh, too many people, they have their jobs too. You know, they're out of school, out for the summer, whatever they do, and this is their second one. If they're legally allowed to work in whatever it is, they, you know, it's their jobs too. It's not yours. I still cannot believe the mentality that goes back to even before I was born. I grew up hearing people with that kind of mentality. Well, these women need to stay at home, and these are our jobs. They need to stay home. Some were actually bold enough to say barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. That's their place. Yeah, I grew up hearing crap like that. I also grew up when I was in high school. I was in the debate team, and then he was a coach, football coach. Yeah, the guy that went with us, you know, whatever it was called, and he said I couldn't debate. I said, what do you mean I can't debate? Think about that. And that just made me laugh just saying it, because I'm literally a genius, and this was a coach guy. You know, I'm not going to stereotype, but he kind of fits the stereotype. But and he's telling a person who's in the debate club that she can't debate because she's female. That's what it was. And just imagine what I put him through. You bet I did. I made it stink, let me tell you. And my friends that were also on it, they didn't learn anything, but I think they were just there for the trips. You know, we'd go places. And but yeah, you know, people with that kind of mindset, that was in the 70s. And the people that get on here and they like, these are my jobs and that I know. No, you don't. You're an idiot. Seriously. If you can figure it out, good. But anyway, I'm going to test my blood pressure and see. Okay, a lot of people are here for breakfast. It's 9:46 a.m., July 2nd, 2024. And a guy was in the woman's restroom cleaning it. And I figured he's going to be in there a while. So, hopefully he cleans it really nice. But I'm going to go to somewhere else. Restroom breaks happen. And anyway, I don't know. I would think, you know, it would be busy, but it's not. I think people pick up their breakfast as they're going out more than anything else and ordering in. Okay, I hope you don't plan on stopping right there. But anyway, I started this off to talk about people who do something wrong and they cannot fathom. Some of these words that I think we use wrong, but anyway. And besides mispronouncing, I'm good at that. But we just use them wrong too. Or is it wrongly? Anyway, just an everyday. I'm not even going to attempt to say that one anymore. No. Simplifying things has messed me up big time. But going from simplified to 20 years at university, then back to simplifying. Yeah, that didn't help me, but that wasn't my purpose, wasn't to help me on that. Anyway, I know I get low at times. My voice gets low, doesn't it? Okay, I can see around that big truck. But the whole thing was supposed to be about people who can admit that they're wrong. And I have a reason for that. I have a feeling it's going to be real soon. that I will have to worry about this is just, I'm planning on going on vacation, and I don't know for how long. You know, say I'm taking a trip to see my mother. My mother passed away, though, so I shouldn't say that. But she passed away 10 years ago. So I told Adam I'm going to say, I'm going on. You know, I really shouldn't say anything. I should just say, I don't want to be around you people. Okay, that's not nice. Anytime you hear, usually, not always, when you hear somebody say you people, or those people, it's not a good thing. It's a stereotype, and it's a, you know, it comes from ignorant people, but not always. Don't get that whole idea like, you know, the only people who can be oppressed are the people who cannot be oppressed. You know, there was always that. We went through a stage of saying, you know, at university, people are saying, like, it begs the question, can the oppressor be oppressed? Well, first of all, are they really, truly the oppressors? You know, or are they also part of the oppressed? Like women, you know, minority status. That's what it was then. I don't know if they still consider women, any ethnic group, all women were considered minority status in the United States. I don't know if they still are or not. And anyone Jewish, anyone, male, female, they were considered minority. They had the minority status. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if that's still the case or not. So, but so that wasn't part of the question. You know, the question that was being begged. They used that a lot back then. Back when I was in my oh man, I don't even want to admit to, but it was over 20 years I was a career student. A lot of people like to call it a professional student. But then, when they say that, they have a different connotation to it. Usually the person saying it has a different connotation. Yeah, they want to put it down. You know, the people who they can't seem to not put down. There are people out there who cannot seem to think in terms of, hey, somebody who's educated isn't the enemy. They're the enemy. Okay, that place was closed. You know, I don't go out enough, I guess, for breakfast to know what's open and what's not. I don't go out enough for any of them. So let's see what happens up here. Hopefully not a police officer, right? I don't know why a police officer's sitting there. But by the way, there was a truck parked behind me. I don't know when it came up at that place that I was in. And when I was backing up, I could barely see the person in the truck. I mean, they were parked like in weird, a spot that's not a place to park. Okay, I need to go this way. I'm not going to get out that way. People have to leave 2 or 3 parking spots between. Man, you should see it. I should take a picture of all this. I mean, not a picture, but a video. People waiting at a light, and there's at least 1 to 2, mainly 2, spots in between them and the people in front of them. That means a lot of people texting. I have been driving enough to have seen the light to all that. Yeah. You know how difficult that makes it for other people, really. Yeah, it does. So, you go ahead. My goodness. Not like I was going to run in front of you. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this one up. I know I was talking about something and I was going to correct something I had said, but oh well. But really, getting out of the house lowers my blood pressure. It always does. There's so many reasons, and you know, everybody can say it's Adam, which I have proven. Seriously, we tried to prove it one day. Yeah, we were kind of bored. But of course, that's not proof. But I don't know what they're doing here. We're both wondering what are they doing here. We were here the other night. They fenced off a bunch of it, and they had big trucks, like he said. Well, they have big trucks. So maybe they're going to deliver something big. So, anyway, I know I don't want to go in Starbucks. Well, that's Starbucks there. Hello. But I'm going to have to turn around and go the other way. Anyway, wrapping it up. Talk to you on another video. Bye. You know what? Honestly, I think I have been to too many places. I'm starting to put them backwards. Like we went to a CVS the other day and I said, it's on the left side. That's where we're going to go. You go down this road and it's going to be on the right, left side. It was on the right side. Seriously. But I've seen so many. The CVS and Walgreens are usually, people joke here. I don't know about where you live. If you live in the United States or at all. Anyway. But they joke about their side by side. Usually CVS is on the left. And, no, wait. Yeah. Maybe I got it back. Usually it's on the left. And Walgreens is on the right. But anyway. And this place right here, it's right. I said, oh, that's Starbucks. Nope, that's Wendy's. So, oh my goodness. I think I need to get me, I say I can't drink caffeine, so. Oh well, but I think I'm getting awake enough. I like those signs that says welcome to Lucas. You can see that right. I think that's cute. So, anyway, talk to you on another video. Now I'm wrapping it up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.